and they'll be like, freeze, freeze. And he's just like, haha, I've got ninjas on my side. And like his mob are like ninjas. Like ninjas, I feel like bullets would like be like effective against ninjas. Wow,
I don't remember the film that well. He's not like an Italian mob boss who has an army of ninjas, is it? Is that what happens?
He's not. Look, he's an ambiguous descent.
He's a Vin Diesel type.
Yeah, he's not. We don't know what nationality he is, but he is sort of like he's a gangster type person that basically his henchmen are ninjas, and they're all dressed in black, like black hoodies, like Marcus said.
I was just gonna I feel like ninjas were the most deadliest group of people in Hollywood in the late 90s. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, okay, they were the most dangerous. They were the most dangerous gang in Hollywood in the late 90s. Then 2000s, everybody sort of worked out that ninjas are boring, and then they moved away from that. But in the late 90s, ninjas were the thing that were terrorizing Hollywood.
So what you're saying is this dad should have dressed up as a ninja. That would have been more acceptable because ninjas are silent. They go unnoticed.
Yeah. So wait, it was a school dance, was it?
Yeah, and his daughter was performing.
Yeah, like I feel like that's even like just the scenario is a very creepy thing to do. It's not like you've just gone out in public. It's not like you're walking down the street. You're actually in like that sounds like a plot from like Halloween 5, I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely. And I think the Michael Myers mask is like one of the scariest horror masks out there.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if where you guys know where it actually stemmed from. Like it was originally just a William Shatner mask from Star Trek, and they painted it white. And they got that horrible. I swear to God, the first couple of films, that's what they used for the mask.
I thought it was just turned inside out, wasn't it? Like turned inside out, then
no, and they painted it white. Yeah. So it's just turns out Shatner inside out is not a good look.
He's a scary dude.
That makes people shat their pants.
William shat her pants.
I wanted to ask you guys, when you were younger, what was like the horror film or character, or even if it wasn't a horror film, what scared you the most as a kid?
So I was scared from like the movie E.T. used to scare the shit out of me, but
really,
he was a scary dude.
The start of E.T., the tone of it was really sort of like intriguing.
The weird thing for Tom was it wasn't E.T. that scared him; it was just that many child actors. Their performances are just so poor he couldn't deal with it.
Right.
Couldn't deal.
No, not even that. But the movie that really scared me. Do you guys remember the Ernest movies?
Yeah,
Ernest
goes to
jail. Ernest goes to camp.
Yes.
Ernest in the army. Jim Varney. He was the voice of the Slinky Dog from Toy Story, but he was basically in this series of movies. But there was this movie called Ernest Scared Stupid, and it was like the Halloween themed one, and it was about this troll that was sort of terrorizing this town. And the troll was the most. I don't know if anyone listening has seen this movie, but the troll was the most scariest thing I've ever witnessed as a child. And he was basically capturing children and like turning them. I feel like he was like taking them into his tree and turning them into like wood sculptures or something. And it was like,
that's messed up.
I was completely freaked out by that. So that was one of those movies. It's supposed to be like a slapsticky light comedy with horror tones. But even if you were to just watch the intro for Ernest Scared Stupid, if you're listening out there, put it on. I'm sure it's on YouTube. The intro for Ernest Scared Stupid has a montage of all these weird horror movies, and it was just the most terrifying.
I looked him up, and he's a terrified looking dude. Terrifying looking. Yeah, the troll is fucking. He's horrendous.
What about you, Marcus?
When I was young, having older brothers really scared the shit out of me because they did not abide by ratings at the best of times, let alone when their younger brother, who is 7 years younger than them, was in the room with them. So I remember my older brother, I can't remember which one it was, but one of them did. They watched the Candyman while I was in the room. Now, I don't know if you know what the Candyman is, but apparently if you say his name 3 times in a mirror, he comes back and stabs the shit out of you. But
okay, Marcus, you've said it twice while looking into your web camera. I'm sure that's like a modern mirror. Do not say it again.
I'll stop. But he also had bees coming out of his mouth. That guy was scary as fuck. So yeah, that was
what's most disappointing is the Candyman sounds like he should be like
giving candy
cereal. He should be like a cereal mascot, like the Cocoa Pops monkey, but he's not. There's no candy.
Okay. Guys,
there's
relax.
none of that.
Tom, you're on one Candyman count, and now thanks to you, I'm on one as well. So we just need to relax, all right? Or else we won't get through this podcast.
What if you could just call him the lollipop man? All all right?
That's better. That's better.
We all
Thank you.
know what
Thank
he
you.
is, all right? We all know what he is.
For me, the two that stand out was Ghostface from Scream. I
Yeah.
never saw the film, but I saw the trailer once, and then once I remember when I was at a shopping center, somebody was wearing the mask walking around, and that absolutely terrified me.
Yeah. That was the movie that you heard, like, also had the hype about, oh, some girl watched it, went crazy, and, like, killed her friends. And you're like, holy shit, I don't want to watch this movie.
Yeah.
It's so wild to think back then that was a selling point, to be like, somebody watched The Exorcist and they had a heart attack and died. It's like, don't use that to sell your film.
How else can you sell it?
And the other one for me, I don't think you guys will see this one coming, was the film clip for Disturbed's Down with the Sickness. Absolutely terrified me as a kid.
Is that the one that goes, wah?
It's the ooh, wah, And in the film clip, it's like, it is the like corny, now that I look back on it, it's like a super corny depiction of like a abandoned mental asylum with people rocking in the corner and all that type of thing. Does not hold up very well now. But at the time, I thought it was like this scare. I'm like, I'm supposed to be enjoying the music, not to be scared out of my life. Thanks, Disturbed.
But the funny thing about like they're like music artists, right? So they probably sat down like, we need to think of like some really cool music. We want to think of a creative music video. But some artists get way into the theme of it. And a perfect example was just yesterday in my YouTube recommended came up a performance from My Chemical Romance from like 2007 in Mexico. And they all have like, this is their Black Parade time where they had all of their like sort of, you know, what are they called? Like those jackets on and their faces
matching
painted,
uniforms.
Yeah, the marching band uniform and their faces are painted white. And I'm like, oh, these guys really like went it all out on the like the most emo sort of look they could. That's when you look at it now, it's like, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, MCR were all in at the time.
Yeah.
They were.
I mean, Damien, I don't know what you were expecting from a band named Disturbed to have like like they weren't going to have lollipops and sunshine film clips. They're going to have Disturbed.
I was like
video
9
clips.
at the time. I was so young. But anyway,
why Disturbed? Have you disturbed me?
that's right. Yes, I couldn't have seen it from the name coming at all.
Yeah.
No.
So okay, back to the firefighter t-shirt then. What do we want to say? Obviously, he did the wrong thing about wearing this mask.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think I think he owes the school an apology and all the families involved and his daughter, because like I'm sure they all put a ton of effort into like learning the dance steps and everything.
Yeah.
And it ended because he wanted to try. He made the night about him when
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was about the kids on stage, and he thought, you know, he was lightening the mood, and really he just ruined the whole night.
Let's be real here. If I was in his situation, I'm not going to apologize to the school or anything like that. At least apologize to your daughter. You ruined you ruined her night. Like going to the school would be the best option, but you don't have to. I feel like just don't go. Send the wife or the mum to all the school like parent teacher interviews and all that.
Yeah, he can never show
But
his
at
face
least-
again.
Yeah, but at least no one knows who it actually is because he was behind the mask the whole time. So it's all right. But apologize to the daughter.
The only people that are probably happy that he showed up because he was like not as scary as them were the 9 other dads that dressed up as Slipknot because they thought it would be funny. And they're like, whoa, at least we didn't cause as much of a scene as Mike Myers over there.
And I think we can at least all agree on this as well. When he does do the apology, he should do it in a Michael Myers Austin Powers mask. That's the only way this can put a bow on this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Big teeth and everything. All right, I think we'll leave it there for the fireman t-shirt. Now, Marcus, do you want to go next with this one?
Yeah, I'll go next. So I've been recently wearing. So I used to be an accountant in terms of a big accountant, as you guys all are well aware and talk about often. I used to go to a lot of accounting sort of conventions, and conventions, or like they used to like talk about like tax stuff, and they're always boring as batshit.
All right, the listeners have just dropped off, Marcus. So thanks for that.
I want to continue. Let me continue. So my work would send me. They'd pay for it. It's like $1,000 course. I'll usually go there, get the free t-shirts, get the morning tea, and leave by 10 o'clock in the morning and have the rest of the day off. They were perfect. So I actually have there's an accounting software company, Myob. I have one of their t-shirts at home, and I wear that to bed. That's the only time I'll ever wear that t-shirt.
I promote them in my dreams.
I sleep with Myob.
You know, things are dire at like accountant con that Marcus was talking about. He was like, I always look forward to the tea and the t-shirts, the tea and tea. Like that was what he was there for. It's like, oh boy, that is not good.
The 2 teams.
I mean, all the accountants that would go there always seemed so interested, and I'm just like, I'm a 21-year-old, 22-year-old who doesn't give a fuck about this right now. I'm more concerned about partying. I'm just getting paid. Like, I don't know why my work's sending me to this crap, but whatever, I'll take it.
Marcus would run to the bathroom at the convention and just start saying Candyman in the mirror. It's like, Just take me now. Just get rid of me. I can't do this.
End me.
You're on 2 counts now, Damien.
That's it.
Thank you.
Don't make it a third. Don't make it a third. All right.
I'm just imagining the lollipop man standing behind the mirror. He's like, I just need one more. I just need one more to get out of here.
To jump through the computer screen.
Did you just call it again? Was that a third time?
I said lollipop.
Oh, okay. Anyway, all right. Moab writes in, my family wants me to spend more time outside my room. So I'm in my room a lot, I guess. And they want me to spend time with them more, which is fair. But I find it so boring. I don't feel comfortable using my device around them, even though I'm not watching something inappropriate. And we did spend time going to the grocery store together and going to shoe shopping today. Anyways, I'll gladly come out of my room. But is there any way for it to be a little less boring? I don't want to watch TV. I told my family that it's boring out of my room, and they replied, we don't have to entertain you, so you have to be entertained or else be bored. And then they got mad at me. I guess that was rude. I'm asking how to not be bored because I genuinely want to leave my room more and spend time with them, but I feel bored when I do so. Moab.
I think we can all deduce from this that this kid is definitely a teenager.
Yeah.
If he's living in his room, and I can empathize with this kid because the rest of my family used to call my room the dungeon because I would always close the door and I would never come out, and I'd only come out for like food or to go to the bathroom and then go back into my room.
Yeah.
How about you guys when you were teenagers? The same thing, or?
I don't know if I spent like that much sort of solitary time in my room. I feel like, I mean, it might have depended on the time. I mean, most weekends, me and Marcus were hanging out a fair bit. Like my door was closed because Marcus was just like loudly laughing while we were playing like Halo or something, maybe.
I recall your mum many times telling us, please close the door. Marcus is too
up.
loud. That often happened, yeah. But then you used to be like, I don't want to close the door because it gets too hot in this room.
Yeah, it gets stuffy, dude. It was upstairs. It gets hot.
Yeah.
Marcus's open mouth creates a lot of heat. It gets hot in this room.
I can't contain my good times.
Man, I'm imagining Marcus like coming over to your house and Tom just like bringing out a ball gag. It's like, my mum said you have to wear this if you want to stay here. Like, you have to put the ball gag in. I'm sorry, man.
He's in like a full like gimp mask, just zipper closed the whole time.
Kinky.
But like, I don't know. I don't think I was like, it's not that I was like, oh, I want to spend time with like my family all the time. But like, you know, if I was watching a movie, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I had a TV in my room pretty much like, because that was the thing, I guess you didn't have like access to Netflix and all that sort of stuff. So if you were watching things like Foxtel, you'd have to watch Foxtel in like the family room. So the entertainment was outside of the bedroom. I might have had like an Xbox or something in my room, but maybe that was it. So unless I was doing that, maybe like playing video games, that's the thing. You got to ask yourself, what is in the room that is keeping you in there that's not outside? Like, what is in this guy's room that he can't get outside?
Yeah. How do you guys feel about this? And Tom, you're a long ways away from this in regards like to being a dad, but I see now like my younger cousins and stuff, the parents will tell them to like spend time with us, spend time with the family, and we all get together in a room. And even though they're with us, they'll have headphones on and they're just on their phone the whole time. And it's like, that doesn't count. You're being cheeky right now.
Well, it's hard though, because I almost feel like when I was younger in car rides and things like that, I'd play my Game Boy. So that was like my entertainment in car rides. So I almost feel hypocritical for being like, I'm not going to allow my kid to watch an iPad in the car because they need to just sort of not be glued to a screen. When really, like, I was playing so much Pokemon when I was a kid that it was like insane.
I was glued to a screen for like my childhood, and to be perfectly honest, it was fine because there was 6 of us in the family, 4 kids, and you know everybody's vying for attention. So I think my parents felt like if we keep one of them shut up in a corner for long enough, that's fine. They loved me because they're like, we don't have to deal with you. You're doing your own things. We're happy with that. But that being said, I did spend time with my family, more like, all right, watch a movie together, whatever it is. But eventually we would get on each other's nerves enough. Like for example, me and my brothers used to watch the football with my dad, and either one brother would talk too much, one gets really frustrated, one doesn't like listening to the other person. Like there's too many of us in the room and we can't enjoy the same thing at the same time. Like we just got on each other's nerves. So eventually one would leave the room and there's like, oh, that's much better. We don't need to hear it anymore. Let's just watch it silently.
Marcus is gone. But in answer to your question though, Damo, like I don't feel like that doesn't classify as family time. Like I feel like if I was in the situation like that, I would expect them to be, so like you're with us, you know, engage with us a little bit, even if it is for a tiny little bit of the evening, whatever, then you can go off and do whatever you need to. I would endeavor to try and not be that sort of a parent, as far as just like the easy answer is like give them entertainment at like a restaurant and like watch a video on like an iPad. I'd actually rather them crawling under the tables causing like amok doing that sort of shit, being imaginative.
Totally.
instead.
I have fond memories of being at like boring functions that my parents had dragged us to, and us just taking every ingredient we can find on the table and making the grossest drink possible. I feel like that is a kid's staple when you were younger anyway.
100%, 100%. But I also remember bringing my Game Boy with my cousin and just sitting at the table playing Game Boy. Especially,
of course.
That also happened. But I like to think, especially like growing up, what we used to do is turn off the TV and at least have the family time of dinner at the table. And that was it. That was just, how's your day? How was everything going? And that was the family time we had. But that being said, I can also understand and feel for this kid